I can't believe this guy said I'm the first second generation working at Blizzard. What the frick? You're trolling! Really? Who says that? It's so weird!
The bigger they are, the harder they fall. And that phrase is perfect to describe when a massive content creator gets into controversy bad enough to end their career. But when it comes to PirateSoftware, he wasn't just a big content creator. He was someone who managed to blow up from 13,000 subscribers all the way to 1.1 million in—
I'll tell you what, whoever engineered his, like, shorts, they were infecting my algorithm for so long. It's insane. I think he genuinely farmed TikTok really, really well. He did a really good job of that. Whoever it was, or him, I don't freaking know.
Less than 2 months, taking over the YouTube Shorts algorithm at some point, and even making over $50,000 in one Twitch stream. However, he also managed to lose all of that just as fast. His actions didn't just make him unlikable, but it exposed him, both as a brand and as a person, making people realize that they had subscribed to him over lies or exaggerations, and that he never showed his true self until now. You've no doubt somehow heard about this already. So many people are talking about him because it's that much of a crazy story, and so I thought of making a video going back to the first ever incident and how it led us here today.
Everything comes back to World of Warcraft, baby. Hey.
So without further ado, let's do this. Alright, so the first question to even ask here is, where the hell did PirateSoftware even come from? Well, he created his channel in 2016, and while his channel would grow over the years, it would do so in a very slow manner, reaching 13,000 subscribers after 7 years. But then, at the end of—
DM? What? Oh, okay. What is this? It's a Twitter post? Hold on, sorry. This is relevant. Apparently this is relevant. It's funny.
Watching a video that was critiquing you for mentioning you work at Blizzard so much, I literally never talk about it. When I worked at Blizzard, I did that for Blizzard. Blizzard, 7 years, yeah. Blizzard. I used to work at Blizzard Entertainment. I used to work at Blizzard Entertainment. I used to work at Blizzard Entertainment. Your red team specialist for Blizzard Entertainment. And Blizzard is having worked at Blizzard. I grew up at Blizzard. Blizzard, game industry for Blizzard Entertainment. Blizzard. Yeah, no, I worked at Blizzard back when I used to work at Blizzard, when I was at Blizzard. For those who don't understand, like, I used to work at Blizzard Entertainment. I know how to do that because I worked at Blizzard. Example of this, when I was at Blizzard. How do you know so many things? I worked at Blizzard for 7 years. I don't think I'm better than other people. I do think that it's funny because you can that. There's a lot of people that
this guy's crazy.
I never said that I was.
Wait, hold on.
I think sometimes the things that I talk about in regards to those types of things
shit, my tracker's not working.
Arrogance or boasting. When in reality, I'm just trying to give context.
So that is the problem right there. I want you to listen to this phrase. Sure. This gets misconstrued as arrogance, but in reality, it's this. Yeah. That is the most arrogant statement on the planet, bro.
Oh my god, you're getting lectured by he's like a doctor, right? Like actually like an experienced doctor?
I actually am the first second-generation Blizzard employee. I was the first second-generation Blizzard employee ever. The first second-generation Blizzard employee. First second-generation Blizzard employee. So I'm second-generation Blizzard. I'm the first second-generation Blizzard employee that ever existed in the company. I'm also a second-generation Blizzard employee. I was a second-generation Blizzard employee. I was the first second-generation Blizzard employee.
Jesus Christ, man.
Ever. I was the first second-generation Blizzard employee.
That's insane.
And I love that shit. I love that company. Working for Blizzard sucked. I work at Blizzard. Or I worked at Blizzard. There's me eating a sandwich. Yeah, that was actually a Blizzard.
That was actually a Blizzard.
It was me picking a safe. It was me cracking a safe in at Blizzard.
Did you guys know he works at Blizzard?
Which Blizzard story do you think is fake? Would you like to talk to me or my dad that worked at Blizzard for 23 years that's currently in chat? Which one do you want?
Chad, did he work at Blizzard? I didn't know that. Dude, it's so good. That was amazing. Okay.
October 2023, he would take a decision that would change his life forever. and that would be uploading highlights of his Twitch streams as YouTube Shorts.
Yeah.
These were such an incredible success that for a while they took over the YouTube Shorts algorithm. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised at all if a huge portion of you watching this video right now
Type 1 if you saw these. Me. I saw them all the time. Also, because I loved Blizzard games. I loved WoW. I got pushed that all the freaking time. YouTube algo loved this guy. It's crazy.
Across these shorts on your own time. The views speak for themselves, with tens of millions of people being exposed to his channel for the first time and liking it. But how did he manage to do that when so many others couldn't? Well, many different shorts actually share the same factors. All you have to do is just watch one to understand the appeal. This short right here, titled Social Engineering, has every single one of these factors combined. So let's take a look at it and then I'll explain. Watch.
So when I worked at Blizzard, I had to do a social engineering task where I had to hit customer support, and I had to get 50 questions answered. And let me tell you, I got my questions answered. I shouldn't have. That was the problem. They're not supposed to answer those. And one of the things that I found that was really interesting is people that had been there for 1 year were really, really hard to trick. But people that had been there for 5 years were really easy to trick.
Okay.
What have we learned? We've learned that training is the issue. Everybody that actually worked at the company got training in their first year, and then they never got training again. So they became complacent, exactly. The director of CS came, and he said, I want the names. And I said, I'm not giving you the names. You're just going to fire those people. And he goes, I'm going to go to your boss. I was like, do it. My boss is like, you got the names? I was like, yeah. And he goes, you going to give them to him? I was like, no. And he goes, he's not going to give you the names, bud. And then I sat down and was like, look, I'm not giving you the names, because if I did, you'd fire all of these people that are your best employees, the ones that have been here the longest. And in 4 years, you will have the exact same problem with the people that are newbies right now. The issue is not the employees, it's your training regimen. I sat down with him, we created a new 6-month training regimen. And guess what? I went back about a year later, did the same thing. All those people passed with flying colors. Not a single one of them answered my questions.
Well, there you have it. The deep voice, with the confidence and eloquence in his speech, as well as the whiteboard he was drawing on at the bottom that was meant to...
The whiteboard is to keep the ADHD focus, chat.
Soothe any attention span issues Gen Z might have, was the perfect combination. Additionally, this story made him out to be a genius, but not just any genius, a noble genius.
Basic in social engineering is a genius.
Who saved 8 employees from losing their jobs by standing up to the evil boss. And where did that boss work? At some unknown company? No, he worked at the grand, prestigious video game company, Blizzard Entertainment. Yes, that's right. This guy right here, talking in such an amazing, eloquent tone, worked at Blizzard Entertainment. And that's something he would make sure to mention any chance he got.
And you know what's funny? I actually believed him. I thought he was a really nice, person at first. Yeah, I thought he was a real chill guy.
When I worked at Blizzard, I did that for Blizzard. Blizzard.
Wait. They put the fucking video in!
Years, yeah. Blizzard. I used to work at Blizzard Entertainment.
Blizzard.
Anyway, we'll get back to that later in the video. But for now, all you have to understand is that these shorts were extremely effective.
Yep.
PirateSoftware had gone from 13,000 subscribers to 1 million before the year even ended. That's 2 months, going from 13,000 to 1.1 million. And over time, his shorts have racked up almost 2.3 billion views. A massive, astounding achievement in such a short amount of time. But YouTube wasn't the only platform that benefited. I mean, these shorts were highlights from his streams. So of course people went to those streams to see the real thing live. And so his Twitch channel went from 400 concurrent viewers to thousands. And within barely 3 months, he was at...
You literally got the golden touch of YouTube Shorts. That's crazy. Alana, your titty's gonna pop off. No, it's not. Sorry, I don't work for Blizzard.
Over 8,000 concurrent viewers. That's top 1% of the top 1%. Now look, of course you might think, well, there are bigger streamers out there. Of course. But even those streamers must have gotten envious sometimes because of how...
No, man. 8,000 viewers, that's like you're breaking into the top 5... I say top 10 at least. 8,000 concurrent?
Loyal and supportive PirateSoftware's community was. On December 2023, he would beat Twitch's hype train record. When enough people donate bits or gift subs, the hype train is activated, starting at level 1. While that's happening, a timer starts counting down to 0. If more people donate, the timer resets and they get to level 2. PirateSoftware's community had gotten him to level 55, and they discovered together that level 55 was actually the cap. No one had ever reached a hype train level this high on the entire platform. He had gotten over 7,000 subs and 1.8 1.8 million bits. If you don't know what this means, he had essentially made $50,000 in one stream.
Insane.
This guy's community was so unstoppable that it made everyone else be aware of his existence. So much so that he actually was able to get nominated to the Streamer Awards in December of 2023. He was barely getting viral. But this is just how influential he was in such a short span of time. But what I want you to understand here is that the Streamer Awards actually have way bigger streamers than PirateSoftware and other category nominations. For example, like XQC or Kai Cenat. These streamers would of course send their own...
I wouldn't really take like the Streamer Awards, like I wouldn't take that too seriously. No, I wouldn't. It's a little bit, it's a strange, I would say it's a strange, like, it's a social thing. If you're not in it, then yeah, it's like a popularity contest, but like, yeah, it's run by other streamers. There's no objective like, oh, you're the best streamer.
Communities to go vote for them on the website.
Like the Oscars.
And they did so with no issues. But when PirateSoftware sent his community to vote for him, they crashed the fucking website. No other content creator had even come close to crashing the website. So it goes without saying that he won the Best Software and Game Development Streamer Award in 2023. He wasn't just absolutely killing it. The guy was speedrunning being a content creator, getting to 1 million subs, getting hundreds of thousands of followers on Twitch, winning streamer awards, and beating records when it came to donations on Twitch. So of course,
Chat, do you think that Vito is the better coder? Like, if you're a coder, have you watched Vito's coding streams? Do you think he's the better coder? Yes, it clears him. Okay, good. We're getting a lot of context.
Of course, I say this with no exaggeration. The sky was the limit, and the guy was barely getting started. If he could achieve that in just a couple of months, what could he achieve in years? Would he become a legend? Achieve stardom? Either way, he was unstoppable until he wasn't. And he had no one to blame but himself. The first incident that would begin his cataclysmic downfall was in the most ironic way possible in a World of Warcraft dungeon. Yes, Blizzard Entertainment's biggest game of all time. And it would become his worst nightmare. Guys, I don't think World of Warcraft needs any introduction, okay?
Yeah, it does. It's a boomed out game.
It came out in 2004 and revolutionized gaming forever. Many games tried to copy it, many games tried to compete with it, they all died, and this game is still alive today in 2025.
Oh my god,
now, throughout the years, it has received many different expansions. 9 in total. And while they would add more...
He has to explain what classic is. Oh no.
Content, quests, story, sometimes new races, sometimes new classes. Some of them would also permanently alter the game's fundamental mechanics. In other words, the game that you're playing now in 2025 is vastly different from the game that you would have played on release day. One could even go as far as saying that they're completely different games at this point. Seeing that so many people's most meaningful gaming experience while they were growing up was World of Warcraft, a lot of them yearned for nostalgia. A lot of them wanted to relive those days when all they had to do was worry about mechanics from 10 or even 15 years ago. This would result in the rise of WoW private servers. Unofficial servers ran...
I played on Nostalgia's in Elysium. I was a huge nerd.
By fans, in which they would use old versions of the game. At some point, Blizzard would start taking down some of the most popular private servers and would cause community outrage, with many asking Blizzard directly, well, why are you going to take them down, seeing that there's demand for them if you're not going to make one of your own? And so they took their sweet time, but eventually, in the year 2019, they would launch World of Warcraft Classic, bringing back World of Warcraft exactly how it was back during patch 1.12.1 of September 2006.
The pandemic absolutely made people nerd out over Warcraft Classic, man.
For the launch of its first ever expansion,
it was like the best.
It would run in parallel to the normal World of Warcraft of today and would slowly re-release its expansions, allowing people to relive them once more. In the summer of 2023, World of Warcraft Classic would release the Hardcore Realms game mode. These are separate servers from normal ones in which you can create a new character, but if you die, you lose that character forever.
Which is so dumb. The game isn't built around hardcore. I thought this was such a waste of time. No offense to any of my friends that play it or anything. I'm just saying, I didn't get the point. The game is not designed around it.
Hence why it was called hardcore. And this is
You still played? Yeah, but like, I played it because I just didn't know what to do, chat. It's different.
where Soda Poppin' comes in, a streamer that has been streaming for—
You took 9 attempts to get to level 30. Of course you don't like it. You sucked. No, it's not! It's not that! I died to bullshit! You know I died to bullshit!
for over a decade now. In his early days,
It's a
he was a
waste of
popular World of
time.
Warcraft streamer, and when he saw the
Oh my
announcement
God,
of World of
Soda
Warcraft
Poppin'.
Classic Hardcore,
The first Soda Poppin' video I ever saw was him getting a bunch of level 1 mages to bully a DK. That was like back in like MOP.
he would create a hardcore streamer guild in October
Fangs!
2023,
Oh my
in which he and a
God.
bunch of other big streamers would try their best to level up their character to level 60 without dying, and eventually also try to do endgame content.
I played hardcore before hardcore even came out. I didn't play hardcore when this came out.
It was a big success, so at the end of 2024, he decided to launch Season 2. This time, better and bigger than ever before. The amount of streamers that participated in this
Holy
Season 2
PS Hero!
was insane. There are streamers here who had never even played World of Warcraft, that were huge in games that they played. Some were League of Legends
Savage.
pros, some were Counter-Strike pros. I mean, the list went
Yeah.
on. It was an astounding amount of people. And of course, one of the
Yeah,
many
Sandwich.
big streamers that had joined OnlyFangs was none other than PirateSoftware.
Oh yeah.
Seeing that he
Here
had
we
built such a
go.
massive influence over the year of 2024, adding him to the guild was seen as a net positive. It was seen as a good thing. Until one day,
Frick that Savix guy. Wait, Mord yells here. Oh my god. I got a VIPer. Is that Mord? Hi, Mord. Oh my god. Hi.
it wasn't. The maximum level you could reach in World of Warcraft Classic Hardcore was level 60. And getting there, just by itself, is already an
It's
ordeal that lasts
annoying.
dozens of hours and sees you try your best to not die. Now, Dire Maul is a dungeon that you can only access if you're level
Farm in
58
Dire
at
Maul.
the
I
minimum,
did that for
and its
hours.
appeal is the amount of great gear that it drops. Dungeons
Mm-hmm.
are typically ran by 5 people, so PirateSoftware and 4 other streamers decided to take this on in order to get
The
better
ogres.
gear. Now, usually, when you're in a dungeon or a raid, there's always a team leader, someone who calls the shots. It's a very stressful
Me.
role, especially in a raid when you're managing a couple
It is not stressful. The game's been out for like 20 years. This guy's glazing, dude. Tyler 1, finish it. Stop.
dozen people, and it's even crazier in hardcore World of Warcraft because
God,
whatever you
dude.
decide might affect the accounts of the people
That's
playing.
crazy.
One wrong move and they lose dozens of hours
Yeah,
of
it's been
progress, and it's all
solved.
on you. I'm saying this because I want you to bear in mind that PirateSoftware is not the group leader here. But as silly as this sounds, the beginning of PirateSoftware's downfall was because of this dungeon and what you're about to see here. The YouTuber Dev, otherwise known as Short Fat Otaku,
Oh, I don't like this guy. I don't like this guy. He's a clown. Pippa, he's such a weirdo to Pippa and Kirsche.
great name by the way, combined the perspectives of everyone who was
fine,
streaming in the
it's
dungeon
fine. For
minus one
context,
person.
it's
One of them
fine.
was PirateSoftware on the top right. As you're watching this, you're going to hear the team leader say,
is good- this is a
"Run."
good
In
video.
World of Warcraft dungeons or raids, this means retreat, but help each other retreat. Not every man for himself. Don't care about your
True.
teammates. You're meant to stick around, try your best to outmaneuver the enemies while making sure your teammates also make it out with you. But as you might guess, that's not what happened here. What do you want me to do,
God damn it.
Run,
Just run. Guitar, are you done here?
All right, so he said run.
Okay. There's this music, man.
The team tries their best to make sure that they all get out together.
Frost Nova, man. Anything. He's like at the front. By the way, he's right at the front. They're like in the middle.
Look at PirateSoftware.
Also, are you fine?
Okay.
Any grenades,
I got last
anything?
stand.
Oh my god.
You can
Heal
just
him,
kill
heal
them.
him, heal him, heal him!
Yeah, you just heal me. Just
Oh
come back a
my
little
god.
Also on me, sitting bear form.
bit. Snobby, just run.
Where's the
help out?
manage him? The manage him.
Pirate, why are you walking, bro?
Yeah, not even rank 1.
What are you talking about? Why am I walking?
This
Look at
is
that.
savageable, come on,
Innervate you?
man.
Kill the.
So his teammate told him,
Didn't he have a
Pirate,
mana
why are you
potion
walking,
too?
bro? This is salvageable. Come on, man. He doesn't care.
He literally made this game. He knows the right way to do it. Mord, stop cooking him, man. Stop!
He keeps running all by himself.
Just kill the mastiff.
Innovate.
Innovate the healer.
Nova, bro,
Kill the
come on.
mastiff.
Yeah.
Heals.
In a sense of
Or something.
Do you see my mana? What am I supposed to do for you?
just kill the mastiff.
Dude, it's so
One
good.
shot. Okay, we
More
pulled
than
another
more on the way,
mouse
more on the
right
way.
Should have
now.
mana gemmed.
The mastiffs can be ice novas.
And then he ice barriers himself. What is that gonna do? The Mogre's one-shot you. You're a freaking clothy, man.
Now we're gonna wait.
That's crazy.
Sarah?
Oh.
Dude, look, everyone's trying.
Okay, get out.
Run.
Run. Look at him. Oh,
Invocations on
Ozzy,
cooldown.
Ozzy, you can do it. Nobody's gonna die.
I can taunt last
How much mana is
moment
ice?
as well.
There's no that much mana.
You have a boss in you called Run.
Getting slowed.
Fuck. Wait.
Anything for me?
I can-
He had a
I don't think-
platoon.
I cannot stun him. Also,
Just
good.
run out.
So, that sounded like a massive fuck up, didn't it?
Yes,
Yeah,
it did,
dude.
short fat otaku. Bear in mind, Pirate Software's
He's
excuse
right.
here was, I have no mana, I can't help
07.
you, when he clearly had 2 items in his inventory that could bring back
That's a mana potion, isn't it? And a mana gem.
up his mana. He could have totally helped and saved his 2 teammates that ended up dying, losing all their progress. This was a disaster. One of his
Oh, is that
teammates,
holy water?
Yamato,
Never
on the
mind.
left here, confronted him
You're
and was
right.
asking him what happened, like what's going on. And this was what Pirate Software had to say.
Shut up, man. You killed the group just by talking, Pirate. Shut up, man. You killed the group. Roach out software. Jesus Christ, dude.
Say right after the fact.
You instantly ran. You didn't even look
As much
back.
as you're angry right now, of course I ran.
I'm not
You
angry at
you-
all. I'm
You,
not
you
angry at all.
overpulled
You
two
could have Nova'd or something.
packs. You overpulled 2 packs and a boss.
Or maybe you can't Nova them. Hold on. Wait, can you Nova them? I think they're elites. You can't Nova them.
I
You
had
should
1,400
rank one
mana
Blizzard
left.
did
I had
then.
to spend all of that mana to try and put it on Blizzard
Some
to
of
save
them,
you
I
guys
guess
in the
you
first
can.
place, and nothing left. You weren't paying attention to party resources. You overpulled, and you weren't paying attention to where the boss was. That's not on me.
So 2 of
You
his
could've
teammates pretty
ranked
much
one
lost
Blizzard,
everything.
bro.
He very clearly
could've
ran
gotten
on
the
his own when he could have just
trash,
said, you know what, look, yes, I panicked, I screwed up, my bad, sorry. But he instead decides to blame his entire team except for himself. It was your guys' fault for pulling in the enemies. It was your guys' fault for calling run in the middle of a fight. It was your guys' fault for this and that. This was very weird behavior. I mean, this is just a game. And he was
Dude,
acting
this is
like if he
gaslighting.
apologized, he would be committing a cardinal sin or something. It made his teammates very uncomfortable to the point where the guild leader had to step
Mr.
in.
Soda,
Now, Soda Poppin was
Chance.
initially the guild leader, but then unexpectedly he dueled Tyler 1, who had leveled up to level 60 and became a very important member of the
T1.
guild in a fight that would
Don't
determine
down.
who the new guild master would be. What no one was expecting, though, was that Tyler 1 would beat Soda Poppin, becoming the guild master. Seeing that this was
down.
becoming a big guild issue, he had to step in and brought both Yamato and Pirate Software into a call in order to squash the beef once and for all.
I'll say Yamato was a bit unhinged, but he actually apologized for it. For a League of Legends player, that's a very good character development.
The result? A catastrophe. Watch.
What do you want, man?
Let me say it again.
He already said his piece.
Pirate.
Go on.
Oh,
Yeah,
dear God.
I want to speak to him because I didn't speak to him correctly. I said it again. We all did mistakes, bro. Like I didn't say. We are
Okay.
just blaming you. It's about the zero accountability is what makes us so mad.
I think that's a reasonable thing to say, even if you're upset.
There's no zero accountability, dude. Everyone can do something better.
you-
But when you open up and you yell over another person
listen,
like you
can
were doing
I
earlier,
speak?
nah, I'm good.
You
See ya. I'm not doing that shit again with him. Nah, he did it the first time. I'm not doing it a second one.
What do you mean?
Not interested.
I mean,
That is
this
weird
is so
behavior
weird.
for
Yamato was
sure,
being as
dude.
mature as possible here, saying, listen, this was all our fault.
Look, Yamato's annoying. I totally get it. Like, league player, ego, I get it. But I think, like, me personally, as a girl, I can hear in his voice that he was really trying. He's like, just take some accountability. Just say something.
We're not blaming you. We just want you to admit, just like we've admitted, that we all screwed up, and he couldn't even say that. Leaving the call like an immature, disrespectful baby as Yamato was talking. This not only rubbed his dungeon teammates the wrong way, it rubbed the entire Fangs guild as well as the viewers the wrong way. As criticism was mounting, PirateSoftware was for the first time confronting massive controversy coming his way. At any point in time, he could have just simply apologized and moved on. Instead, he only chose to double down, playing the victim and saying that other streamers in Fangs just want to cause problems with him for no reason whatsoever.
Content is causing drama and problems. There's a lot of streamers actually in this guild that want to cause problems specifically with me, and have even stated so publicly on their Twitch, saying that they want to have a fight with me for content. That's not content.
But you can report that. Where's the reports? Yeah, if you say, like, I'm gonna harass him for content, you can get very easily reported and banned for that, or at least suspended.
That's dog shit.
Oh my god. Hold on. I'm trying to fix my
Ridiculous.
tail, I'm sorry.
Keep not gonna be a part of it.
Hold on.
I mean, seriously, why would people just want to attack you unprovoked for no reason whatsoever? What a cruel world we live in. The bulk of these events would unfold from January 10th to January 12th.
Oh, dude, Savix's response for this was so Giga Chad. I hope he shows it. It was like one of the best posts out of the whole thing. Chat, I'm sorry. I'm trying to find my tail and... I'm trying to find my tail so it stops blocking the screen. There we go. Okay, thank God. Sorry.
2025. By that time, PirateSoftware would have received so much
I am sitting down. My tracking's broken. Shut up. Shut up.
criticism, so much hate that he felt compelled to post a long tweet explaining his point of view on Twitter, saying, "To those trying to character assassinate me online for a bad pull in Dire Maul WoW hardcore, this is hardcore WoW and a lot is on the line when you step foot into a dungeon. Here is a light breakdown of the last 24 hours. Our party went the wrong way and overpulled multiple packs with the boss. The shot caller made the call to run, then went back on that call. During the run out, another pack was pulled as we had opted to skip it previously, which is never a good thing. Communication was completely broken."
Yeah, again, little gaslighting. Like, we shouldn't have skipped it. It wouldn't have happened.
Throughout this, and it was our second time failing the dungeon. Everyone played poorly, and 2 people ultimately lost their characters for it.
Everyone played poorly, but I didn't.
Each person in this group made mistakes, including myself. I have never once said I was perfect in my play, nor that I was a god gamer. I'm just an ex-Blizzard employee that has played Mage for a long time. To pin that on a single person is absurd at best, and if you're calling for death and cancellation over it, you're too invested in this content in a very...
Absolutely! I don't think he should have gotten death threats or harassment over it to that extent, but like, he didn't take any accountability. People are pissed.
Healthy way. If you're a creator engaging this kind of behavior, then eventually your content wave will end, but the relationships you've sullied will be permanent. Hope it was worth it for you. To those trying to defend me, don't worry about it. This too shall pass. Do not attack.
He brought up Blizzard again? Yeah.
Anyone else on my behalf. I've always hated that kind of behavior. I have no intention of stopping making things or not doing stuff as I have already been. Those who are banned will stay so. I've never liked that kind of knee-jerk reaction behavior in our community before, and I will not be changing that now. For those that don't understand why they will stay banned, we had a 10-hour-long hate raid over it live on Twitch. We had to ban nearly 4,000 accounts across all platforms, and our moderators received death threats regularly throughout it all. People called for me to be killed both in-game and out-of-game. They tried to get me banned from Twitch, the guild, and WoW. They tried to make disparaging comments about our ferret rescue or that we somehow hurt animals. They tried to spread rumors saying I was convicted of felonies and many other things. The internet hate machine will not defeat me or the community that supports me. See you in WoW Hardcore tomorrow. So this was posted on January 13th, 2025. And while he did admit that everyone in the group made mistakes, including himself, it truly didn't feel genuine. It seemed like it was absolutely impossible for him to just say, "I'm sorry, I misplayed." He just couldn't do it. Someone pointed that out, saying, "Where's the I messed up?" And PirateSoftware said, "Apparently you have no idea how to read. Hope this helps," highlighting the paragraph in which he said, "Each person in this group made mistakes, including myself." Again, it was worded in a disingenuous way. He just couldn't take individual accountability here, no matter what. The top comment was a WoW streamer known by Joker D saying, "Just take the L, it's not that hard," to
Joker D. Man. You know it's bad when Joker sounds like a reasonable person, man.
which PirateSoftware said, "Hope this was worth it for you." So overall, this entire response didn't really help him at all. And even if it did, he would single-handedly ruin any progress it might have had in the coming days. He would double down, triple down, quadruple down, quintuple down, and eventually sextuple down, only to call OnlyFangs a content guild built on hate.
And that's not true, bro. It was pretty wholesome the whole time up until this happened.
And a lot of it was from a rogue that was bitching the entire time about every goddamn thing that was going on except for his own play. But the mage is the one at fault because the mage is the hero class and the mage has to do everything.
Why can't you just take the L? You didn't rank 1 Blizzard. You used your mana on freaking barrier on mobs that can one-shot you regardless. The hero class? Yeah, I would say mage is a hero class for sure. God damn it, I have to fucking recalibrate again. I think it's the sunlight in my room. I apologize. What I'm trying to say is like, it just... Where's my model? Hello? What I was trying to say is that you have to take a modicum of accountability for it. Yeah, sure, maybe you didn't play that well. Maybe you were playing really selfishly, but if you admit to being selfish and say, sorry, I messed up, I was just running away, I didn't really care, I think people wouldn't even be that mad. You see the clip I'm saying? That's exactly why I run this spec about the Fro spec for the CC stuff. Yeah, that's really great. If you fucking use that!
Perfectly. Everyone in that played badly. The druid butt pulled an extra pack on the way out. The tank chose to take us into a bad route through the entirety of the dungeon.
Chose to take us into a bad route. Why didn't you say anything? If you're so smart, just say it.
Packs and the boss at the same time. I, as the mage, went into that fight with 40% mana. Tried to use my research.
Then why didn't you tell him that you want to drink? Like,
used them poorly. And got myself out when the call was made to run, which, by the way, was made by them as well. Everyone played badly. In fact, the only person who didn't was the healer. And I explained that in the Twitter post, but no one wants to hear that shit because they want it to be a double down, a triple down, a quadruple down. I
don't blame him for that. His group was shit. Yeah, sure they were. There was a lot of people that never played WoW before and they don't know what they're doing. They make mistakes. Like, World of Warcraft Classic... I have so much knowledge in my brain about it that I will never use in real life, and it's just something that's only specifically to that version of the game. And there's shit that I don't even know about, to be honest. Just really stupid, like, little tricks. I get it, but just the no accountability is killing me.
Have a villain. They want to have an enemy. They want to fight that shit into the ground. They want to send death threats to people over it. Because they're goddamn insane. Because this guild has turned into a content guild built on hate, not a content guild built on experiences. Because they're freaking monsters, dude.
It's just crazy how we got to this point and we're not even halfway.
Are you saying that, like, Soda Poppin's idea was, like, creating monsters? I don't think that was his intention at all. I remember a long time ago when I was a little troll, when Summit and Chance and a bunch of other, like, big streamers were on a roleplay server, they were doing, like, some sort of challenge to hit, like, I think they were, like, playing Classic but on retail. And I killed NPCs just to troll them so they couldn't turn in quests. I'm sorry, by the way, about that. I was a little, like, unhinged little gremlin freak. I apologize. I'm really sorry. Summon, if you're out there, I'm sorry. It was a long time ago. You were playing an undead, and I killed all the NPCs. And I did it repeatedly until you left. But, my point is, it's like, they've been doing this kind of thing for a long time, and they never had issues before that. At least not that I remember. They've done challenges like this before.
through this drama, and all he had to really realistically do was look at the camera and say, you know what?
I didn't. I
sorry.
stopped.
We all misplayed, yes, but I screwed up by running away the way I did. I had 2 items that could have restored my mana so I could help the 2 people who died, but I just simply panicked and ran away. And so even though we all misplayed, I just want to say I'm sorry for my play. But
maybe he was upset he wasn't the leader and decided to kill his teammates, but by maliciously following the leader's orders, it seems more likely, no looking back. I don't know. I'd have to watch the VOD, but even then, you're like psychologically assuming what the person's headspace is like, and assuming. You know what I'm saying?
No, it was too hard for him. Guys, he worked at Blizzard, and Blizzard employees simply don't make mistakes. That's a given. As PirateSoftware was too busy playing the victim, a clip of the streamer Lakari surfaced in which he was doing a dungeon with PirateSoftware. You see, Lakari is someone who had never played World of Warcraft up until this point. He was
but he played BDO, and that game is fucking insane.
Playing a mage just like Pirate, but he was kind of having a hard time keeping up with everything going on. Here's how Pirate treated him. I'm sure you can tell from the title. PirateSoftware bullying a totally new player to the game. Pathetic, dude. Watch.
You basically have to evocate to get your mana back for the next pull.
Oh, he's backpedaling. That's cute.
Reminded me. Sorry, I don't play the game, so I forgot. If you remind me, I can help you out real quick.
Yeah, it's too bad I'm the only mage in the party. You're right, Jen.
Dude, just tell him to buff, man. This is so weird.
If only someone else would cast Arcane.
Higher DPS, by the way. Yeah, somehow. He's keeping up with him.
Only.
Pressing crossbolt. Dude, he's such a dig.
Can't really keep wishing for things that just aren't here, though.
That's true. That's true. Can't wish for the rogue. Can't wish for another mage to cast Arcane in.
Yeah.
Brother, may I have some modes? Oh, since we have 2 mages, we could probably poly the ads.
Wait, we have 2 mages. Oh. Man.
Yeah, I can poly.
Here I've been the only one casting Arcane in. Incredible.
Oh, it's crazy.
It's wild.
Dude, I love that Lakari. So, for those that don't know, BDO is an extremely cutthroat and cringe game. I played it a lot. He's handling this like he's been dealing with BDO drama for such a long time. He's like, yeah, that's crazy, man. He knows how to deal with it as opposed to like fucking freaking out at him.
God, even reality TV can't recreate such an awkward moment, man. Just ruining the whole vibe.
Yeah, it's too bad I'm the only mage in the party. You're right, Jen.
Hey man, I'm new to the game, so if you want me to help with Arcane, just let me know. Remind me. Yeah. It's too bad I'm the only mage in the game, right, chat? Oh, we have 2 mages. Oh, I didn't know that. All that in the
I would do this kind of shit to a good friend of mine. Like, I would bully them like this, like, jokingly. This is so passive-aggressive and weird.
Of a new player who was being nothing but nice, honestly. And yet PirateSoftware had the gall to complain about being bullied by other content creators when he was literally doing that to someone as innocent as Lakari. The culmination of all this would force Sodapoppin to take the decision of kicking PirateSoftware from OnlyFangs, pinging everyone in the OnlyFangs Discord and saying this: yes, I made a decision to kick Pirate. I felt a large majority of people in the guild felt uncomfortable playing or being around him and all that drama that surrounded him at this point. Even though some people may have not felt that way, a lot did. And after seeing some clips today from him quadrupling down, or I don't know what number we're on at this point, I think I'm making the right decision, but still I feel bad. Try to just let this whole thing slide into forgetfulness and move on, in my opinion. Stay safe, gamers. So look, at the end of the day, in World of Warcraft in general, when you're in a raid or dungeon, you have to trust every single member on your team to make sure that not only you complete the raid or dungeon, but that you also survive. This also applies on a way bigger scale in World of Warcraft Classic Hardcore, because one bad teammate can cost you the account that you've put dozens or even hundreds of hours in. And people just couldn't trust someone who couldn't take any accountability like PirateSoftware. As soon as things would have gone wrong, he would have probably just ran for his life and said he had no mana again. And not many people really felt sorry for him because at the end of the day, he was the embodiment of this meme. No one was forcing him to sextuple down. No one was forcing him to bully a new player. The only person who was shooting themselves in the foot with a shotgun was none other than PirateSoftware. At this
is this a Quinn post? Oh yeah, I saw this.
Point, Jason Thor Hall, otherwise known as
Blick! Help us, we're dying! like, dear God, please help. I worked at Blizzard. I'm roaching is what you need to know. I have no mana. I was on purpose. What do you want me to do? I worked at Blizzard.
PirateSoftware was slowly but surely...
It's crazy to me in hindsight, now that I saw the Lakari clip, that this guy max rank blizzarded mobs while he was running away instead of rank 1ing. Like, I played a mage in Classic. Like, it was like the first thing I learned from watching other mages is like, you need to have rank 1 Kona called, you need a rank 1 Blizzard. And no, there's no rank 1 Poly. No, there's not.
Becoming a lolcow, but he had no idea. But that was normal, because fundamentally speaking, a lolcow is never aware that they're a lolcow. Look, there are a lot of definitions of what a lolcow is, but if I had to sum it up, well, it would be very simple. It's someone who simply embodies the worst of the worst when it comes to human traits, but they would be constantly convinced that they are the perfect human being, never able to admit fault, and never willing to, even when they know that they're in the wrong. This by itself becomes very entertaining, and there are many examples. They come in all shapes, sizes, and even colors. And the mage who ran out of mana was about to join their ranks imminently. All he had to do to avoid this fate was just fucking apologize.
No, not even that. Don't double down. Like, even if you think you're in the right and you don't want to apologize, don't start justifying and trying to, like, placate the crowd. Like, if you're gonna go the villain route, go all out and be like, I don't give a frick.
Man, but he just couldn't.
Yeah.
In fact, what he ended up doing was maybe one of the cringiest things in this entire video. I genuinely can't believe that someone in his 30s said this, but I mean, watch this yourself. You'll know what I mean.
How did you get this deep? Stop feeding into it. All of the accounts that are messaging me are getting reported. There's a funny fact about this. I worked at Blizzard for 7 years. There's a
Did you guys know he worked for Blizzard? Hold on, pause. I gotta recalibrate. Damn it. Let me fucking... He said the line! He said the line! Oh, these people are insane, man. I can't believe he said the line for like the 15th time.
A whole lot of other people there that still know me.
How many times does he say to stream,
reports are going directly to them. They're well aware of the situation, and everybody who's messaging me, they're going to get read. It's kind of a dumbass thing to do.
Read? By
I can't wait for all of them to get banned.
FBI?
Yep.
Yeah, so all you guys whispering me...
Nintendo. My dad works at Blizzard.
Right now with these threats, well, guess what? My dad works at Nintendo, and I'm going to tell him personally about every single one of you, so good job. See you later. It's like, bro, if they're sending you death threats, you really just have to report them in game, and I'm sure...
I get death threats! I don't make a big deal out of it. I mean, yeah, it sucks, but like, damn, dude.
Something will happen. You don't have to actually bother your Blizzard alumni.
Yeah, you're
this clip was on
buddy.
January 14th. And guys, I swear to you, I am constantly impressed by how ironic life can be. I don't think we live in a simulation, but sometimes I do get the feeling, because some things are just so perfect in comedic timing, you'd think that there was someone writing a script. One day after this clip came out, PirateSoftware was streaming the game Ashes of Creation during its second alpha. This is an MMORPG similar to World of Warcraft, and it also has raids as well.
Dude, Ashes is never coming out, man. I've been wanting Ashes to come out for like 10 years, bro.
Dungeons. During a raid, PirateSoftware would wipe the entire team. He would kill everyone single-handedly by pulling in the wrong unit.
And this is like absolutely just 100% his fault. It's proven.
What would be
like the overpulling whatever, his group sucks, I get it. I totally understand. People trying to like justify it, but like this was crazy.
His first reaction? Well, watch for yourself.
Sabu is not paying attention.
Okay. Who pulled that?
He pulled in the enemy.
Sabu.
And he died.
God damn it, guys.
God damn it.
Oh, no, he pulled the ocular.
So one of you pulled the ocular. Why? Now half the raid is dead. Was there a reason for that?
Wait for it, chat. Wait for it. Wait for it, chat. Pause.
I swear, it is so funny knowing that he was the one who pulled the ocular. This is also another thing with lolcows. They are unintentionally hilarious. PirateSoftware here was genuinely pissed, okay? He genuinely was livid. But knowing that he was the one who caused the wipe is so fucking funny. It showed people that World of Warcraft wasn't an isolated case. He was doing this in Ashes of Creation and would very easily do this a third time somewhere else. It was him.
Gaslight girl boss, man. Who did he learn this from?
He was the issue here, and his lack of accountability was astounding. But you know what else is astounding? His ability...
Oh no! What is that? What do you mean? He's a gnome!
to keep digging himself in deeper holes.
Joker
During this whole fiasco, Joker D would talk about
so
PirateSoftware and would call him out.
I honestly fuck PirateSoftware. Like, straight up, bro, this dude is a complete fraud. At least in the WoW space, I don't care if he worked for fucking Blizzard. The guy probably made fucking coffee for some devs. I don't even believe for a second.
So out of all the streamers in OnlyFangs, Joker D probably went the hardest.
He's the guy that got world first. Fucking classic. That's literally what he became known for. He was just an unhinged little private server little freak.
On PirateSoftware. He took segments of this rant and uploaded it as a YouTube video. That YouTube video would then be removed.
They removed this video. Yeah, I heard about this. Look!
Due to a violation of community guidelines, and the person who striked it cited the reason as being harassment and cyberbullying. One could only guess who took this video down. I mean, seriously. Joker D would never reveal the name of the brand or whatever that was behind this, but seeing that the video had gotten brigaded by PirateSoftware's community, for many, it was safe to say that PirateSoftware was the one who took this video down.
You don't do this lightly. This isn't like a copyright strike. This is like, if you get 2 more of these, you're done. Your entire channel's done.
Because he simply didn't like it, abusing the copy strike system on YouTube. Seeing that Pokemon had done this in the past back in 2020, getting an amazing community reaction, and of course we can't forget about Alinity doing this as well back in 2018. Wow, I'm old.
I'm gonna copy strike this guy.
I mean, it was genius. It worked so well for every content creator who had done that prior. So obviously, this was the play. Congratulations. You know, it's so fascinating to me how the internet works sometimes. Someone could mind their own business for months, for years, for decades. But as soon as they do something that makes them so incredibly unlikable, the internet starts seeing a big red target on your back and they
You start criticizing and scrutinizing every single thing that you've done, and you're highlighting everything that's ever happened to you, and people will go out of their way to go and find things that you wouldn't have even thought about, like, in the present. You'd be like, oh yeah, I've been streaming for like 6 years, and then they go digging.
Right. PirateSoftware had a talent of building up a huge, loyal community in just the span of a couple of months. When January 2025 came by, though, he proved to us that he had another talent, building up a massive community of very loyal haters. These incidents that we just talked about had ensured that. This is when those very same haters would start scrutinizing every single aspect of PirateSoftware, both as a brand and as a person, only to eventually dismantle this massive empire that he had built. Now look, just to be clear, PirateSoftware has always had haters, dating all the way back to September
Everybody has haters. Totally get it.
2024, and there were earlier instances too. This is normal. When you get famous, when you take over the algorithm the way he did, some people will naturally get fatigued from you. I mean, you might not believe this, but even someone like Queso has haters.
If you're a hater, get out. This is my goat.
Purely because he's a massive content creator, no pun intended. Some of these early haters of PirateSoftware would start making videos talking about his past. About how, for example, he wasn't—
Why Queso? No. He was just explaining that you can get fatigue. Because Queso pops up in people's algorithms all the time. Because, you know, like, people like him. And then he tries to recommend it to you a bunch of times. That's just how algos work.
The game developer he was making himself out to be, especially with his Blizzard experience. About how he used to go by the name of Moldavius Fig Tree.
Wiki fur. Oh, Lord. Uh-oh.
and was a well-renowned furry in Second Life and EVE Online. But those videos would never get enough traction to actually matter. As you can see, this video right here with the title of PirateSoftware, the streamer who faked his game dev career, had reached almost 100,000 views. From the like and dislike ratio, we can see how PirateSoftware had somehow, either directly or indirectly, sent his community to brigade this video, and just like Joker D's video, it was taken down by abusing the copy strike system and inciting harassment and cyberbullying. So essentially, if you were an early hater of PirateSoftware, if you had something to say, well, chances are no one heard you. This is how for a long time he was able to sweep all the hate, feedback, and criticism under the rug.
Yeah, and imagine all the people that didn't even talk about it. This is just one guy who publicly posted about it.
Except this time, after all the events that we just saw unfold, he had way too many eyes examining his every move, and he couldn't just sweep criticism under the rug anymore. For example, around the end of January 2025, PirateSoftware had DMCA'd an indie game and threatened to sue its developer.
We talked about this.
Why? Well, the developer shows us the main reason why PirateSoftware wanted the game taken down. It is. It's this roach wearing the same wizard hat that he was wearing during World of Warcraft while mimicking some of the things that he was saying. Watch.
As much as you're angry right now, of course I ran.
This whole game got DMCA'd because of this. I mean, this is how sensitive he is. And now many people were
Dude, if someone put me in a game and mocked me, I would just fucking laugh. What is wrong with you?
Aware of this. He couldn't just copy strike or DMCA just about anyone, because every time he did, he spawned more haters. His strategy was now outdated.
He's Streisand affecting it. He's putting a Streisand effect onto his content, onto his persona. Yeah, you can't just let it go.
Everyone was made aware of what had happened to this indie game. And speaking of indie games, there was renewed scrutiny over PirateSoftware's indie game called Heartbound, with many wondering why it's been in early access since 2018 with no release date in sight. Give it 3 more years, it'll be a decade. Some people—
Oh my god. Bro, Yandere Dev is actually better than PirateSoftware. Like, even though his coding is dog ass, at least he got the game out.
People were comparing him to Yandere Dev, a very well-established lolcow who hadn't released his game in over a decade. And when people actually analyzed its code, they found some of the worst written code known to mankind. Seeing all this scrutiny and criticism catch up to his own game development must have hit one hell of a nerve, because very shortly after he announced that Heartbound would start receiving monthly updates. And all
that's convenient. It's a little bit telling, no?
Took was people going there and reviewing it negatively. He was hoping that this would steer off the criticism and the scrutiny, and that things would eventually finally go back to normal, but the haters weren't really done just yet. People were putting into question his entire identity, the fact that he worked at Blizzard for 7 years, but worked what exactly? Blizzard. As well as him claiming that he was—
I watched the whole video. I don't know if he brings it up, but basically there's a video out there and someone actually looked at his job history and all he did was QA stuff. Yeah, he was just like a guy that worked for QA.
One hell of a hacker who had gone to the yearly hacking conference, DEF CON, and won some pretty important events there with the help of his team that he never mentioned, of course. Always taking credit for this by himself. I mean, at some point he was invited—
I would love to talk to these people. Like, what's he like to them as a person, as like a team person?
To a podcast called Dropped Frames. This was a clip from it, and here's the title: PirateSoftware on how he became a hacker for the government. These were the stories that he was telling people. Watch this.
You're a hacker. Like that's where you kind of started.
An actual hacker.
An actual hacker. Like,
yes,
not like I'm a hacker type. No, you're an actual hacker. You've won.
Like an actual hacker. Yeah. My last job was hacking power plants for the federal government. I worked for the United States Department of Energy.
I watched this video, by the way, too. Yeah, I watched the Coding Jesus one.
So dude walks in with a laptop and
the glazing is kind of crazy, dude.
And you lean over to— who's that guy? Well, that's the hacker from the government.
Yeah, that's the hacker.
It's even worse. We go in like 3 to 4 man teams, man. So like we've got a team.
Oh, you had a fleet. Like you had like a team of dudes in suits holding laptops, walking into restricted areas. Okay.
When he says things like this, what he's trying to paint in your mind as a viewer is that he's some sort of Unit 8200 Mossad agent writing...
Okay, but to be fair, the guys were glazing the shit out of him.
Zero-day exploits on USBs that are snuck into Iranian nuclear facilities and that infest and shut down the entire technical operation.
They didn't know.
Of that
Yeah, it's not really their fault.
When in reality, if you look at his LinkedIn and reconcile it against his skill set, what he did was social engineering. He wrote phishing emails and tried to gain access to credentials and user systems that way.
I can do that.
So Coding Jesus said it best. PirateSoftware's entire identity was slowly starting to unravel right before our very eyes. From the shorts that made him go viral, to the stories he used to say on stream, to quite literally everything about him was nothing more than either an exaggeration or him trying as best as possible to sugarcoat reality. We can very clearly see on his LinkedIn that first off, he didn't work at Blizzard for 7 years, it was actually 6 years, 6 months, and that his initial roles were him being in quality assurance. For the first 4 years at Blizzard, so the majority of his time there, he was in an entry-level role, eventually being promoted multiple times and finishing off as a senior red team specialist. In his own description of the job, he said, infiltrated and exploited physical access controls, managed social engineering.
That makes me think this guy walked into a room and asked for the keys and then walked out. I don't know why that makes me think that. Like, infiltrated and exploited physical access controls. I pushed a button and then the doors opened.
Operations to improve employee awareness and resilience.
I can read corpo really well. I had a normal corpo job. It's like I can read between the lines.
And finally, created, launched, and managed a global web application bounty program. As Coding Jesus said, this guy would literally just send phishing emails, make phone calls, try to pretend to be an outsider in order to have employees make mistakes so that they can improve internal protocols. I mean, it's an important job, that's for sure, but even on his LinkedIn, he would make claims that he worked on all these different games. I mean, yeah, indirectly, but none of your code made it to the game. You didn't model, you didn't texture.
Well, it's like saying that if you were like customer support, you know, the GMs, like you didn't make the game, like you made a good community, maybe you could play that, but you making the game is kind of crazy.
And you sure as hell didn't
That's
animate.
How you do a resume.
You just so happened to work on internal.
It's just funny that it, like, to normal people that don't do that kind of like writing all the time, they're like, oh, he's like a hacker man or something.
Projects in parallel to these games. And yet, every time someone would mention something about games, about the video game industry, about whatever, he would always start off by saying, I worked 7 years at Blizzard, actually, so I know what I'm talking about.
Wait, his deep voice is so strong.
When in reality, no, you have more experience as an indie developer than you ever had as a developer at a AAA company, and that's the truth. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that he made this such an important and integral part of his personality that it felt like a massive betrayal. But that's not all. His dad was Joey Ray Hall.
Absolutely cool guy, man. He made all the cinematics, dude. It is crazy the things that they came up with because of limited technology.
This picture right here is of 10 people. And if you don't know who they are, these people happen to be...
This is from freaking the 90s. Oh my god, look how young he looks. Oh my god, he's got all his hair and he's not gray. Blizzard North? No, this is Synapse or whatever it's called before they even were Blizzard, because look, they got Vikings on the screen. Yeah, this is before Blizzard. This is like Mind Synapse or something. Is it Silicon Synapse? I don't remember. It's a little brain, little logo.
The original founders of Blizzard Entertainment.
That's crazy.
Yes, these guys are legends in every sense of the word. And the guy in the middle is none other than Jason Thorhall's father. He later became the director of cinematics at Blizzard, which is probably the only thing that Blizzard has been consistently good at for the last 20 years. He was also the inspiration behind this guy in South Park.
Oh, we know. I've seen that short like a million times because of YouTube, man. Yeah, trust me, we all freaking know, man.
Famous World of Warcraft episode. I mean, this guy was a legend in every sense of the word. And so Mashable.com, when they made this article about PirateSoftware, titled How Streamer PirateSoftware Gained Nearly 2 million subs in 6 months, they just had to mention the fact that he's a Nepo baby. Saying...
Wait, Journal's kind of based, huh?
When he was 16, he landed a dream job as a game tester at Blizzard
Journal kinda
Entertainment,
cooked
which,
him, huh?
before the bloated loot boxes and corporate acquisition by Microsoft for $68.7 billion, was considered one of the most respected companies in the video game industry. It helped that he was a Nepo baby, since his dad, Joey Ray Hall, had spent over 2 decades at the industry titan since almost the very beginning.
It's true. Like, that's just kind of how it works sometimes. Just own up to it. Yeah.
Now, of course, after 6 months, he would leave because he felt that the corporate life wasn't for him, and many years later would reapply by himself without the help of his dad, landing a QA role, which I believe, because if he had the help of his dad, no way he would end up in an entry-level position. But still, just them including this sentence, calling him a Nepo baby, truly triggered him beyond belief. I mean, look at what he had to say.
Yeah, really not a fan of that.
I bet not.
Not a fan of that. It's one of those things that I've been trying to fight my entire career. It's one of the things that I've had to argue with people in chat about. It's one of the things that we ban people for here. Anytime people say shit like that, because it's deeply disrespectful and it completely overwrites any of the things that I've done throughout my career as something that is somebody else's success. Which
Why didn't you just admit that when you were 16 that your dad said, "Hey, do you want a job?" and then say like, "I worked on my own merits"? I feel like you can downplay it, and you can downplay it pretty reasonably. Got ads? Okay. Are you sure you got ads? Hold on, let me refresh. I want to chat to get his ad. No. This is we got 7 minutes. Why do you lie to me? Why do you lie? Yeah, not yet. The bad little chatter said ads.
they have not been in any possible respect, and it's just rude as fuck. So
no, I'm ban him. I'm kidding.
What do you say in the thing? He said it was he called me a nepo baby in his article.
I mean, you are like. Technically, I got a job because my mom worked at a job and she knew the director. Like, I got a temporary job even though I didn't deserve it, and I worked there for 2 weeks and then I quit. Like, you are the definition of a Deadpool baby. I didn't deserve the job. You didn't. You might have worked your way to the top, sure, but like, was it Blizzard though? No, it was not Blizzard. It was not Blizzard.
No, that's dog shit behavior. Really gross. In any case, let's go find somebody to raid.
I mean, you heard him, right? He would ban people in chat if they called him a Nepo baby. It's the easiest way to trigger him. And yet, at the same time, the same guy who's acting triggered...
There are so many people in my chat probably that have been Nepo'd into a position when they were like 16 or 18. I was 17 when I got my job. I didn't deserve it, but I got it because my parents, like... Yeah, I feel like it's a pretty normal thing. I'm not saying it's a fantastic thing, but it's just like, it happens.
For being called Nepo baby, said this multiple times on his stream.
That's crazy.
Watch. So I'm second generation Blizzard. I'm the first second generation Blizzard employee that ever existed. I'm also a second generation Blizzard employee. I was a second generation Blizzard employee. I was the first second generation Blizzard employee ever. I was the first second generation Blizzard employee. And I love that shit. I love that company. Working for Blizzard sucked.
Again, a lol cow is someone who is unintentionally hilarious when being 100% serious, and I just can't stop laughing at this guy. I mean, seriously? I was the first second-generation Blizzard employee? What is this, the Chinese dynasty? Like, what are you even talking about? And let's be real here, the only reason you were the first second-generation Blizzard employee was purely because of your dad. Because back then, they didn't even have a recruiting team. You were just the easiest hire. And I think one thing he has to...
Yeah, obviously, too. By the way, if you're, like, working at a job and say, like, it's hard to trust people, like, with, like, something as important as, like, I don't know, working at Blizzard, I guess. Like, it kind of works.
Understand is that being a Nepo baby isn't a bad thing. I think like most people, if they had a dad or a mom who worked a really cool job, they would.
Mods do this too for stream. You vet people based on like how well you know them. You don't want to just get a mod that's like a random guy or whatever and having to like train them or whatever. I get it.
would love to take advantage of that, and they do. For example, Jack Quaid is an actor that was called a Nepo baby multiple times by fans. That's because his parents are both Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan, two very successful actors. His response was very refreshing for fans, agreeing with the Nepo baby label and saying, "I'm an immensely privileged person. I don't think it undermines my talent."
Wow, crazy. What an appropriately emotional thing to say. Even if you don't believe it, like, let's just say this guy's lying for the sake of lying and playing it down so that the public doesn't get backlash. I think that's like a normal thing to say, and I think it quells the public.
Adding that he was able to get representation pretty early on because of being a Nepo baby, and that it's already more than half the battle. So as I said, being a Nepo baby isn't inherently a bad thing. It's only bad when you try to deny it. When you get defensive, because come on, who are you lying to? And that was what PirateSoftware was doing. It was becoming more and more obvious that PirateSoftware had a massive ego, but also very deep-rooted insecurities. He wanted to appear like a genius no matter what. And according to him, geniuses never apologize. Geniuses never admit fault. But they also never make mistakes and always
Do you know who else is never wrong? Women.
no matter what, figure things out on stream. This is something that became painfully obvious when he would play some pretty hard puzzle games and would figure out some of the hardest things all by himself miraculously after looking at his phone, playing it off like it was some genius eureka moment. Outer Wilds is a critically acclaimed, story-rich space exploration game that just so happens to have some pretty complex puzzles. PirateSoftware would play this game on stream, and he would proceed to solve these puzzles all by himself, miraculously, and more specifically, after looking at his phone. In the VOD of his gameplay,
look, all I'm saying, the pattern of behavior makes me think.
Around 8 hours and 7 minutes, he gets stuck in an area and he needs to get out somehow. This is one of the many puzzles in this game. Now, he would struggle to find the solution, deliberate with his chat, talk a bunch, and then at around the 8:20 mark, he would pull out his phone right here and continue talking to chat. This goes on for 2 minutes, in which he deliberates while
this move right
continue
here.
talking to
Hold
chat.
on, this
goes on.
This move I would pull when I was cheating on my exams. Oh, I'm not looking, I swear. You guys pulled this move too? Oh my god, I did this when I was cheating on my exams. Yeah, you literally just go like, I can't. This is so fucking strong, man.
For 2 minutes, in which he deliberates while very clearly looking at his phone. And then eventually, at around the 8-hour, 22-minute mark, he would get a eureka moment.
Maybe it's not with the scanner. Maybe there's a different way. Maybe it's not the scanner at all. Maybe it's the time. Maybe the fact that we were able to destroy the surface like that was the point.
Why does he make it sound like it's it's almost like he's reading out of a book. Does that make sense? Like he's narrating too hard?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I have an idea.
Theater kid? Oh my god. Wait, that actually kind of... Wait, you're kind of cooking with that. That was kind of crazy.
Guys, wait a minute. Oh my god, I have an idea. Guys, oh my god. This just came out of nowhere. My brain just works differently. Did I mention that I worked 7 years at Blizzard? This would spread like wildfire on Reddit. This guy is faking...
Let me enter my mind palace and piece this together. Wait, that sounds so good. That sounds like something that he would say unironically, dude. What a first-time chatter.
His Outer Wilds run in order to appear to be a genius to his community. That's crazy. It's so ridiculous you can't even believe
Destiny!
it. But as I already mentioned, he was facing increased scrutiny. He normally would have been able to get away with this, and he did get away with this in other games. It's just that now things were different. When questioned about cheating in Outer Wilds, this is what he had to say.
Why did you cheat in Outer Wilds? What?
Oh no. Oh,
How the hell would you cheat in that game?
By
we played it all live on
up.
stream. All right.
Oh my god, this is so cringe. Hold on, I'll go back. Yeah, I know we got ads. I know.
He normally would have been able to get away with this, and he did get away with this in other games. It's just that now things were different. When questioned about cheating in Outer Wilds, this is what he had to say.
No, I know cheat.
Why did you cheat in Outer Wilds? What? How the hell would you cheat in that game?
How do you cheat in any game? You get an advantage. Like, what kind of question is that? He is not very smart.
Bro, we played it all live on stream. All right, bud. It's a wild ass thing to say.
Yes, how would you cheat while live streaming this? As
This is what I did when I was like 12, taking an exam.
he stares into his phone for 2 straight minutes. You're absolutely
I'm rubbing my
right.
head, like,
the
you
real
know?
controversy would be when he would play the game Animal Well that released on May 2024. You see, he played this game before the World of Warcraft controversy and before the increased scrutiny. But after he had embarrassed himself in Outer Wilds and World of Warcraft, people thought to go back and check his gameplay because they thought, wait, now that I think about it, this was kind of suspicious. And the evidence here was damning. It was simply undeniable. You see, Animal Well is a puzzle game, but not just any puzzle game. It has many puzzles and many secrets that are very easy to miss if you don't take your time analyzing every aspect of it. When the game first came out, you had people on Reddit and in forums trying to work together in order to find all of its secrets and puzzles. One of those puzzles was the Wingding puzzle. This took the entire community over a week of teamwork in order to find the solution. This was a group.
Again, if he just admitted that he might have looked it up, I don't think people would have gotten that mad. But no, you have to act like a genius.
Effort in every way, and no one person could have solved it by themselves. The guide came out on May 19th, 2024, and it just so happens that PirateSoftware miraculously, all by himself on stream, solved this puzzle on May 19th, the day the guide came out. I mean, bro, seriously? You'd also have some people write entire essays with proof as to why they think that PirateSoftware cheated. If you want to read this and have actually played Animal Well, you can pause the video, but in a nutshell, it's almost like he was trying his hardest to ruin any ounce of reputation.
No, I totally get it. Again, if I was really passionate about a little puzzle that I figured out and I cared a lot, this essaying wouldn't even do justice. There would be some slurs in there.
He had left. I mean, seriously, are you that insecure that you would cheat in a fucking puzzle game in order to appear to be a genius to your community? Really? It's insanity. But this was reality because, as I said earlier, this scrutiny was disassembling every aspect of his brand and personality, even down to his most fundamental traits, like his own voice. People would somehow unearth this old clip of him at a convention in which
I still don't know if this is like... I don't know. I'll let it play. Hold on. I'll just let...
he sounded completely different than how he sounds today, leading many to believe that he's either faking his voice or simply using a voice changer on his microphone. Listen to this.
Show been so far?
It's actually been amazing. It's our first time out here at Denver Comic Con, and there's so many people, and they love the games, so it's been awesome.
So speaking of games, what do you have for us today?
So we have Champions of Breakfast, which is a twin-stick shooter that we made in 24 days from concept to release on Steam. Blew up. It was really really awesome. And that game is pretty difficult, so if you're into really hard arcade games, that's the kind of thing for you.
You know what, though? To be fair, he sounds like such a pleasant person here. This is someone I can see myself being friends with. Look, people want to theorize and say that he has a voice changer or is faking his voice. I think he was just killed by an evil clone. I think that's a better explanation. This, of course, wouldn't be the only clip where you'd hear him have a different voice.
Oh,
like
no, Quinn.
this one, for example.
I'm gonna have to peel my hot dog. I have to peel it. Every good hot dog needs to be peeled. Every good hot dog needs to be peeled. You see, now that I've peeled the hot dog, it's ready to eat.
Look, a hot dog is
That's
about
right.
to be eaten by Thor.
It's ready to
Let's
eat.
demand he smears.
Okay, look, if you're not convinced yet, here's a more recent clip of him playing Animal Well. This was around a year ago, back in 2024. Look.
I don't know what that gives me, though.
I don't know what is that supposed to do?
Wait, hold on. I've never seen this. What? Wait, go back. What?
It gives me
Animal Well. This was around a year ago, back in 2024.
I never saw
I don't know what
this.
it gives me though. I don't know what is that supposed to do? How am I gonna put that shit in there? Oh, god damn it.
I've been streaming for 2 fucking years. Sometimes when you laugh, your voice gets higher, but you can hear the distortion. You can hear the distortion in the voice. Nah, I think it sounds weird. You can hear it. Like, listen closely. I'll shut up.
I don't know what that gives me though. I don't know what is that supposed to do? How am I gonna put that shit in there? Oh.
You can hear the crackle right there.
God damn it.
To some people, this was his voice change.
Lana, can you turn off your voice changer? Hey guys, we're gonna watch PirateSoftware crashing out. Hot mods, ban that guy!
Glitching. To others, this was him mistakenly getting too comfortable with his real voice. What does PirateSoftware have to say about this? Well, apparently, according to his doctor, his voice went through a second puberty in his 30s. That's right.
I don't know if that's real. I'm not a doctor. I can't criticize that. I don't know if that's real or not. Genuinely, I have no idea. When I started hearing about that, I was like, what? Is that a thing?
Apparently your balls can drop twice. But I could
What? Why are we talking about balls? What? 2 sets of balls? Oh my god. Bro, I'm gonna crash out. What do you mean there's 2 sets of balls?
only find a handful of sources on this, and this article from the BBC pretty much sums it up by saying that as we get older, the larynx gets stiffer, making the vocal cords less flexible. I mean, this isn't new. When you talk to someone who's 90 years old, they'll sound different than what they used to sound like in their 20s. But to have this much of a dramatic change, that's crazy. Regardless though, I mean, the pressure was getting to PirateSoftware. Not only was his game getting scrutinized, not only was his past out in the open, but people were criticizing his gameplay, the way he played games, and even his voice. Things were getting out of control. So the next thing you know, he was on stream with a psychologist.
This is what genuinely what kind of cooked it for me with Dr. K. I watched around about, it's 3 hours long. I skimmed through it, and the whole time, like, I don't know, I feel like I'm a pretty sensible person most of the time, and I just felt really uncomfortable and strange.
By the name of Dr.
Yeah, like
K.
he had a big
Kanoji, otherwise known as Dr. K, runs the healthygamer.gg organization. He's a clinical psychologist who founded this brand in order to be able to reach the very big and growing demographic of gamers, a group of people who very often will struggle with mental health and not really seek out therapy when they should.
Do you get like a therapist yourself? I should sign up for it.
Content is mostly educational, drawing parallels between video games and what you go through mentally, and overall, he's been quite successful. Now, of course, that's not to say that he doesn't have his fair share of haters. Some people, for example, have criticized the fact that he does these therapy sessions with streamers in public.
Yeah, I think that's a big, valid criticism. I always thought it was a little bit strange because I would never open up, like, even a modicum of the amount that he's done in the past with people, and I think that's a little bit weird. But if they're both consenting, I guess it's like personal preference, I guess. I think it normalizes it. Yeah, but like, if I'm going to a therapist, I want to unload like my whole hog, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna hold back. Like, if I'm on stream and there's like people recording it, it's not private. Like, I'm holding back, obviously.
Even though the person in question consents to it.
Yeah,
from Dr. K's perspective, though, he wants to show people that streamers are humans too. And if someone like those streamers that they idolize is brave enough to get therapy, then they can do so too.
Yeah, sure.
His conversation with PirateSoftware would last over 3 hours and a half. It would get viewed by almost 1 million people, and having watched a good chunk of it, I can tell you right now, regardless of what you might think about Dr. K, I think this stream truly shows his incredible skill in being able to converse with such an obvious narcissist without having him rage quit the call while still trying his best to give him a reality check.
Yeah, there's so many times where I thought that he was gonna just like be like, nope, I can't do this. Blah, blah, blah. He's gonna do the thing that he did with OnlyFans. There's public comments up with the viewers as long as they consent. I think it's cool. No, I mean, like, for me personally, I think it's weird. But if you want to do it, that's cool. I don't think
And for you to understand that, I want you to watch this clip.
For this shit right now is like they come in and they're like, did you know that he worked at Blizzard for 7 years? Like, yeah, that was my career and I'm proud of that. So of course I'm going to talk about that because it gives context to talk about other things around the games industry, which is what we do on the stream.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes the things that I talk about in regards to those types of things is misconstrued as arrogance or boasting, when in reality I'm just trying to give context.
So that is the problem right there. So I want you to listen to this phrase.
Sure.
This gets misconstrued as arrogance, but in reality, it's this.
Yeah.
That is the most arrogant statement on the planet, bro. Like, tell me I'm wrong.
He just laughs. Dude, this guy's an evil villain. Someone cast him, man. This is crazy. I mean that in a funny way, not in like, oh my god, he's a monster.
Okay.
It's just funny,
I
dude.
don't see it that way, but all right.
God, it must be so hard talking to someone like that. Anyway, in the next clip, you'll be seeing the logic behind PirateSoftware's attitude when it comes to never apologizing.
Let me
like not give any context whatsoever.
Again, I can say this from personal experience. Like, why do you have to bring it up like all the time? Did you not work in any other company? Like, did you work anywhere else? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Let's say yes to that. I think that's a bit of hyperbole, but
just an emotional response?
No, just say, hey guys. So basically, you know, when you tell the narrative, you start with like, I made a mistake, everyone made mistakes. I was smug. And then there's a lot that comes after that. How would you feel about just ending it after that first paragraph?
I can't do it.
I hate that.
Bro, I'm gonna piss myself. I've been holding in this pee and this video is like fucking an hour long.
Okay.
I have like a
Okay.
an immediate emotionally angry response against that.
Very good.
Because it feels like idiocracy.
What?
Okay.
It feels like,
oh my god, Dr. K, honestly, stone-faced. This is kind of insane. I wouldn't be able to hold it together.
that's too long, didn't read. I don't need all those words when few words do gooder. That I hate.
Oh my god. Dude, some people just have like this cognitive dissonance. That's crazy.
That shit. Like I super hate that kind of communication of like there's a lot of people that say like, oh, you should just say my bad, guys. No, that does not in any way explain a situation. That doesn't tell you any information that is real. It is hand waving for the masses in a way that is disingenuous to what happened and disingenuous to the people that are involved. I feel like to do that would be just me lying for the sake of lying so that people would.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean lying? You're not lying. You can just say I didn't work. I worked for a video game company. It was very good. You just. Oh, this hurts my brain. I wouldn't be able to tolerate like dealing with this guy. Concise doesn't mean lying. I walk up to someone and I say I make videos on YouTube, or I post videos on YouTube of me yapping. I don't just have to instantly be like, I have like over 100,000 subscribers. I'm kind of a big deal. Like, I know what I'm talking about. I don't feel necessary to fucking say that all the time. It's just so cringe. Like, I want to just fucking choke myself out.
Really gave us an insight as to how his mind functions. And as you heard from him talking, he hates the idea of just saying, my bad, let's move on. I'm sorry, let's move on. He wants to sit there and type 12 paragraphs as to why he was wrong but not really, while others were more wrong than him. All of a sudden, things make a lot of sense. Now, listen to how Dr. K responded to that, okay?
I can't, man. Say what you want about Dr. K, like, I don't like his practices, blah, blah, blah. This is just... he's got, like, some really good patience. There's no way, man.
So I think what I liked about that response, my hope... So we're not here to like rehab your PR, right? We're just here to have a conversation.
Okay.
And at the same time, over the last 2 hours, there's something about the way that I hear you talk that rubs me the wrong way. There's something about the way that you talk that seems...
Bro.
Dismissive. So I'll tell you where that...
No, I agree with that.
Right? So it's like, I made a mistake, we all made mistakes.
Okay.
Right? So there's something about your sentence construction. It's like, oh yeah, Thor, I'm sorry I cheated on you, bro. I really do love you. You know, we both have flaws in this marriage.
I think the funny thing here is that Dr. K is known to be very caring, very nice, and not confrontational at all when it comes to streams like this. But in this case, seeing that he's an experienced psychologist, he knew when to become confrontational. He knew when to call out PirateSoftware on his bullshit. And this is what it was. Bullshit. In just a span of like 20 seconds,
I'm surprised he didn't leave the call. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you. I thought he would have left the call. When he paused and was like dismissive, I thought he was gonna leave. Bro's folded. I'm sure that YouTube Frox thinks is very funny. Leave me alone.
Dr. K had essentially summed up people's entire problem with PirateSoftware. When he would be criticized, when he would be given feedback, when he would be given advice, he was always dismissive and smug. And this smugness is what led us here. People were hoping that this productive 3.5-hour conversation would actually lead somewhere, maybe actually make him apologize for once and take a step back.
No, I've read, this is obviously anecdotal, but I read articles of people being narcissists and going to like actual like therapists that cost hundreds of dollars an hour. If you are a chronic narcissist, it is impossible to like, you can't get to them, even as a therapist, someone who's not related to them, like as a family or like relationship or whatever, it doesn't matter. It's impossible. Like, I don't know, maybe someone in my chat has like narcissistic mom or dad or like a cousin or something. It's impossible.
It didn't. His empire kept crumbling until we had finally reached the final nail in the coffin. Stop killing games. Stop Killing Games is an initiative launched by Ross Scott in the European Union and the United Kingdom. It was meant to be a direct answer to what happened with the game The Crew, made by Ubisoft. At the end of December 2023, Ubisoft all of a sudden announced that The Crew would no longer be purchasable and that its servers would be going down on March 31st, 2024. Seeing that this was a live service game, this meant that after March, you'd never be able to play this game ever again. The salt in the wound, though, was that barely a couple weeks after the servers went offline, Ubisoft revoked The Crew from people who had bought it digitally, attaching a message saying,
"You don't hate Ubisoft enough, I swear.
No longer have access to this game.
Ubisoft.
Why not check the store to pursue your adventures?" To many, this was an outrage. It essentially meant
you no longer have access to this game. Why not go and play another game of ours? Yeah, we took it away from you. You paid money for it. We didn't give you a refund or anything. Yeah, just... Dude.
that you never owned your games to begin with. Ubisoft can just take them away. This also more recently happened with Concord. It barely came out for a week and then the servers were offline.
Yeah, but Concord, at least they got refunds, right?
Fine, if you bought the disc copy, you were played like an idiot. The Stop Killing Games initiative argued that it wasn't really legal. It was very weird for live service games to just shut down like that without giving players an alternative. With Ross Scott on his YouTube channel saying that games as a service is fraud. wrong.
6 years
One thing to note is that this initiative wasn't forcing publishers or developers to keep game servers online forever. What it simply wanted was to have a way to access these games after the servers went offline, by allowing players to host their own servers, for example, arguing that if taking games down like this would become the norm, then way too many games would become lost media. Because that's what the crew and
it already happened with like a lot of games that I liked when I was a kid. Black and White 2. Microsoft acquired the company and then the company died. God damn it, my
Concord are right now. They're essentially lost media. It was classified as a European Citizens Initiative, in which European citizens could sign it, and if it would reach 1 million signatures, then it would be talked about in the European Parliament. It would initially get a couple 100,000 signatures until a certain person would speak out against it in the most aggressive way possible.
Ooh,
of course, we're talking about our good old friend, PirateSoftware. He felt so passionate about this
Wow, this is 1.3 million views?
topic that he made 2 videos about very shortly after it launched in the summer of 2024. Now look, we're not going to watch the whole video, I just want to show you the first 10 seconds. Let's do this.
Hi, my name is Jason Thor Hall, also known as Pirate Software Online. I've been in the gaming industry for about 20 years. I used to work at Blizzard Entertainment, then
Say the line, Bart! Say the line! Say the line, Bart!
Amazon Game Studios, and now I own my own studio, Pirate Software, by the same name, which is an indie studio, and I've been...
There's just something about this guy, man. I don't know. I can't explain it.
That's crazy.
Anyway, he worked at Blizzard Entertainment for around 7 years, guys, and he vehemently opposed every single thing this initiative stood for, arguing that it would kill live service games and kill gaming in general, completely misunderstanding what this initiative was even about, and using his massive influence, which was still present at the time, to kill it instantly. I want to be clear here.
And you want to know the worst part is that he argues that he had no impact. 1.3 million views. That's insane. Okay, let's say half it, because a lot of people probably watched it like after the whole drama happened. Let's just say half it, like just straight up. That's 600,000 views on YouTube. That's pretty fucking mainstream, if I would say so.
This video, he tries his best to appear level-headed, professional even, echoing the genius that you first saw in his YouTube shorts at the end of 2023. But on his stream, oh my god, this guy was a mess. These are the very nice things he had to say about this initiative. Watch.
Shit, now this is actually really dumb. It's used car salesman garbage. This is shit. It's shit. Not only do I not want to back this...
Why the ad hominem? Why the ad hominem? Why didn't you just say it's bad?
I'm going to actively tell people not to. That is awful. That is a horrible goddamn direction. That's...
How many viewers did he have back then? Like... Probably like 8 to 10,000 people watching him live on stream. You think that wouldn't scratch, 6 to 8K? Let's just assume it's 6 to 8K, not 10. 10 is like high end. Let's just say it's 6 to 8. That's an obscene amount of people that saw this and were like, nah, this is lame.
That's awful.
Because this guy said it.
No. Eat my entire ass. The level of stupid that I just had to receive was like sitting on Twitter for 12 hours. This
No, yeah, according to him, this is the worst thing that's ever been made by humanity. Like, this is oh my god, you'd think that this is actually going to end gaming as we know it. But it's not. It's seeking to do the opposite.
Shit sucks. That's a really stupid ass move. That's an incredibly stupid ass move. I think this is ass. This is complete garbage. All of this can eat shit then. I dropped the mask entirely.
In his very professionally level-headed video, he says this.
It's incredibly important to me that we keep making games and that the next generation has the tools to do so that our medium doesn't die out.
But that's exactly what Stop Killing Games wants to do. The whole point of this initiative is for this medium to not die by allowing so many games to become lost media. And yet, this is what PirateSoftware was saying.
I don't think he's a corpo, like, what is it called? Like a shill? I think he's just he doubled down so hard. No, I don't think he's a plant. Genuinely, off the bottom of my heart, I don't think he's a plant. I think he said something. He fricked up. Just like he did with the WoW thing. He doubled, tripled, quadrupled down. And now he's perceived as a corpo shill because the only other possible reason why he would be against the initiative if he's a corpo, like a pro corpo. It's kind of crazy. Like, I don't know, maybe that's just my opinion. I don't know, whatever. But, like, it's just kind of weird.
About this whole thing.
I think live service games getting sunsetted is fine. I've always thought that. And that's okay.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, at this point, just no comment. When he would start receiving quite a bit of backlash, of course, now there's more dislikes, but when it first released, I'd say 30% of the like to dislike ratio was dislikes. He made this pinned comment, outlining some points that don't really help his very aggressive...
He's just a rich ego now.
reaction that came out of nowhere, and then ended it with a quotation saying he won't even talk to Ross, who is the founder of Stop Killing Games. To which he replied with, correct. I think his
I'm not gonna talk to him, but I'm gonna shit talk him. God damn!
Position is disingenuous due to his comments about how this could be pushed through government. It's a bad direction, removes validity for what the initiative is trying to do, portrays the process in an incorrect manner, and just builds sensationalism. Thinking that kind of language is okay puts him squarely on my not worth it to talk to list, as there are others that could have a more productive conversation. So what he's talking about is this slide here. This one slide in the entirety of this initiative is the only reason why he refuses to talk to Ross. It says, reasons the European citizens
This seems so reasonable. Politicians mostly don't care about video games. Yeah, they don't.
initiative could pass. Politicians like easy wins. Politicians mostly don't care about video games. The law is already unclear on this practice.
Yeah.
The initiative is in line with other consumer policies.
Sure.
It's a diversion from more serious topics. Now, according to Ross, this was a half-truth, half-joke slide. And I think that's how a normal person would view it. I don't think it was tone deaf in any way. But it angered the hell out of PirateSoftware for some reason. I don't know why.
Ross said this slide was mostly a joke, but like I can see how it can be perceived as like a joke, but it is true. Politicians don't like fighting each other. Like, they don't like pushing different agendas. They want easy wins because it looks good on the public. The public sees like, oh, he pushed this initiative, that's really good. If he lose, it makes you look weak.
People theorize that it's because he got close to Ludwig, and together they founded the games publisher Off-Brand Games. When the Stop
Yeah, but he left, didn't he? Like, recently.
Killing Games initiative came out, they were in the process of releasing a live service multiplayer game. So there was definitely some sort of a conflict of interest here. Regardless, this European Citizens Initiative had a one-year deadline. It would be automatically closed on the 31st of July, 2025.
Close.
And by the end of June, it barely had 500,000 signatures, which meant it had no hope of ever reaching 1 million, or so it seemed. This was until Accursed Farms, the channel owned by Ross Scott, would release a video titled The End of Stop Killing Games. It's an hour-long video that kind of reminds us what this initiative is about, how we got here, the feedback and criticism he's received, the changes he's made, and of course the majority of the video is him responding to PirateSoftware's very aggressive criticism.
I watched
Most of the clips of PirateSoftware crashing out over the Stop Killing Games initiative were actually from this video. Ross addresses every single one and ended up, whether intentional or not, making PirateSoftware look like a clown who had no idea what he was talking about.
This was the correct move, too. Honestly, because he was getting so close to the deadline, I think he threw a Hail Mary and it worked. And he took the bait. He took the bait. Maybe he knew. Like, maybe, like, Ross is, like, that 4D chess, like, step ahead. Because if he was gonna lose either way, right? Because he's fighting for this cause, right? I think he might have just said, fuck it. Like, threw a Hail Mary and he just was like, boom.
This video almost has 1 million views, and many people watched it. Some of those people happen to be way bigger content creators than PirateSoftware, and seeing that this very important initiative was very close to failure, tried their best to bring as many people as possible to sign it. For example, Moist Critical talked about it in his videos at over 3.5 million views. Hell, even Jacksepticeye talked about it on his second channel, and the video's sitting at over 1 million views. People understood that this initiative wasn't just a good thing for video games, it was integral to ensure its survival for the future. Hell, even Minecraft creator Notch had something to say about it, tweeting, "Hey guys, just got back to gaming after a brief break. Wait, why is there a Nepo baby doubling down over?"
The guy that made Minecraft, who sold Minecraft to, Microsoft.
'Cause, 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 'cause There, adding, if buying a game is not a purchase, then pirating them is not theft. This truly solidified the position of PirateSoftware in the Hall of Fame of lolcows. It was undeniable at this point. His stupidity had made an entire movement succeed, just purely on the basis of him being so unaware of what was going on. He lacked the most basic form of self-awareness. And thanks to that, the Stop Killing Games initiative not only reached 1 million signatures, but is currently at over 1.3 million in overdrive. About to reach 1.4 million any time now, with the UK petition reaching double the signatures required. He even had a vice president of the European Parliament voicing support for this initiative and signing the petition himself.
And there's a lot of people who are, well, not people, but corpos that are not happy about this, and it says a lot.
While urging other Europeans to do the same. This initiative gained so much traction that a publisher group full of the biggest publishers on the planet, including EA and Ubisoft, for example, responded saying that these proposals would curtail developer choice.
Ooh, banned by EA! Activision Blizzard! Ooh!
And that it was unsustainable and unfeasible. In other words, they were
the billion-dollar companies like wiping their tears with $10 notes from their eyes. They're like, ugh, it's so difficult being really, really rich.
We're very scared that this could actually pass. Man. Being a gamer myself, I wish this initiative the best of luck in part.
I wish we could get consumer protections in the US. That's never gonna happen. Yeah, unfortunately, America is kind of chokehold, or sorry, choke-held by corpos. Everything is owned by corpos. At least EU has some hope, I guess.
Parliament, and I truly hope it passes. When I buy a digital game, I'd like to know that I actually own it and that it won't be taken away from me at any given moment. But while this initiative was gaining a lot of positive attention, PirateSoftware, on the other hand, was gaining all the negative attention. He's currently bleeding over 10,000 subscribers daily on his YouTube channel and has currently lost...
To put it in perspective, I gain 200 to 300 subs a day. He's losing 10,000 a day. Yeah, that's crazy.
A massive chunk of his viewership on Twitch. I mean, look at these numbers. He used to peak 15,000 concurrent viewers and is now down to 5,000. That's 1/3 of where he used to be 7 months ago. And that's without mentioning all the followers he's been losing. I mean, look at this, minus 50,000 just in July. Additionally, this renewed scrutiny has prompted many YouTubers like Coding Jesus and Slop
I watched this while I was walking, dude.
Network to analyze the code that he writes on stream, concluding that a child, a literal toddler, can probably do a better job. Seriously, this is the gift that keeps on giving. Because, of course,
I don't know anything about coding, but Coding Jesus actually broke it down enough where I could kind of follow what was going on and understand. Yeah, it's insane.
Instead of just apologizing, taking a step back, taking the L for once, admitting you made a mistake, maybe taking some advice that Dr. K gave you, he would triple down or quadruple down, I guess I can't even keep track at this point, and make this post, saying the most interesting narrative is that my video somehow killed the initiative. This graph shows that the initiative already had a downward trend in interest when my videos dropped.
When I lie.
My videos do not seem to have had any impact on the movement at all. Making me the villain did though. Best of luck with your next steps. So at this point, I can't help but be impressed how much he's willing to die on hills that don't matter. People aren't even tracking cumulative signatures and daily signatures. They just understood that this initiative is worth fighting for, it's very important for the longevity of games as a medium, and that you, with your massive platform, not only criticized it very aggressively, thinking that this was going to be an easy win that made you out to be a genius, but urged all your audience, all your strong community to not sign it when they were telling you to sign it initially. That's how you
could have even played off and said that I think this initiative is bad, but you're allowed to do whatever you want. I remember watching Asmon's respond, a couple of people's responses. Oh yeah, it was voice critical too. They said this. They said, if you disagree with me, that's totally fine, but I think this is good. If you want to go sign it, go ahead. This guy he popped off and just started going crazy with it. Yes, I know, haha. I'm broken right now.
even found out about the initiative. He would then later tweet this, saying, "I am no longer working at Off-Brand Games. People were attacking all of the games we were publishing and trying to mass review bomb them. You can dislike the things I say, but this kind of behavior is unhinged. Learned a lot there, accomplished a lot, hope they succeed regardless. Love those dudes and loved working with them."
No. Because he then doubled down again and went back on this and said, I hope whatever you get isn't anything that you want. Yeah, I'm paraphrasing, but it was something along those lines.
Hope they keep cooking. Ludwig would reply to this, saying, "Stop killing games is a good initiative, but a few bad actors review bombed / harassed developers of the games we support at Off-Brand Games. Appreciate Thor stepping down for the betterment of the devs and their games," to which he would get community noted. The note said, "Rivals of Either 2 has not been review bombed. Verifying this is as easy as opening the Steam page and looking at the graph of reviews. And if you go to the game, scroll down, and look at the graph that shows..."
Me when I lie. Like, what? That's not even a review bomb. It's still more. Look, it's still more. Like, yeah, sure, you could argue and say that there's an increase right there because of, the other days before that, right? But this is like nothing. It's still more.
Review trends, we can very clearly see that there's no review bombing going on. If anything, there's positive bombing. Look at all these positive reviews in June. But hey, anything to be the victim, right?
That's crazy.
In fact, the guy became such a victim that I think he started losing his mind. He started comparing his current
Me when I'm in a lying competition with my opponent's Ludwig. No, man. PirateSoftware is the king, apparently.
Situation with the Stop Killing Games initiative to Coney 2012. I mean, dude, no, I'm sorry. This is a full...
What kind of out of touch is that? Like, what kind of comment is that? Wasn't Coney 2012 like about child soldiers in Africa? How do you even make that jump? Dude, that is so narcissistic. I'm not even gonna say it. It's like me saying, like, me getting death threats in my emails is like 9/11. I would never say that for the record, but like, it's like this. What?
Full-fledged, fully developed and evolved lolcow. There's no way you can say this while being self-aware. It's impossible. And after months of complaining about people brigading and harassing him, he does the same exact thing to Coding Jesus. He would leave a comment on his code review video and would then...
Oh, he's just a clout chaser. He's just doing this because he's dogpiling me. Meanwhile, the guy that's literally done nothing but coding for the last, 5 years...
link his comment to his chat so that they can go upvote it in an effort to ratio the video itself. Like, how petty is that? Come on, man.
You make a link to it? You have to click on the little 6 hours
this
edited?
Is so weird.
Aha! So that doesn't seem to do it? Oh, do I have to right-click on this and then copy link address? And then do that? Is that what does this? Ah, it does highlighted comment. There we go. Boop. There's my comment on it.
Boop. Cute. Little cute boop.
Enjoy. And I also have a whole argument with a whole bunch of people in the replies in there so they can see what's going on with it. I talked to them.
Chat, I hope it... I think that I have the sensibility to understand that having a community of thousands of people, I would hope that even my own mods would call me out on this fucking shit. Like, this is just sad. This is actually brigading. Like, caught live on stream, just like caught, wait, put your hands up. Boom.
Through the entire thing of why I did that all in an array, because that is not normal practice to do that, and it's specifically so that you guys can reverse engineer the game and solve the ARG. Sometimes doing bad practice has meaning, which is...
Whatever, man. He later deleted this VOD because this literally breaks YouTube TOS. This breaks every aspect of terms of service when it comes to brigading and harassment. I mean, at this point, can this get any worse?
Should look up how many mods left in stream. How do I do that? Coney 2012 was a scam. Coney was way out of power way before 2012. It was with the fact that people were online were being idiots following social idiocy. Okay. But that's still... You're still comparing... an African warlord that got thrown out of power in 2012 and then people brigading it Like, they're not brigading a bad cause. Like, child soldiers are bad. Like, you shouldn't have that. Whereas this is internet trauma. Like, I don't know, man. I just feel like if you cited any other example, it would have been, like, better. Just anything. Anything. Even if that's true. I don't know. I don't really remember Coney 2012. I just remember reading about it online.
Yes. He'd be asked about his opinion when it comes to Stop Killing Games finally reaching 1 million signatures, and he said, I'm going to be honest with you. I hope that your initiative gets everything that you asked for, but nothing you wanted, and I'll leave it there. See, if I was 12 years old, I would have probably...
And again, after he said all this, where was it? You know, like, he was saying, oh, I hope you guys get what you want, and then you double down and post that. You just, like, flip.
Thought this was really cool, but now it's just edgy beyond cringe. But listen, as much as this was a ridiculous roller coaster ride on the Lolcow Express, someone did end up asking him, hey man, would you consider making an apology video, setting everything straight? Because you know what, this is still salvageable. You can still redeem yourself.
No!
And here's what he had to say.
Put up a video saying you were wrong with every situation and the internet move on. I am not doing that. I don't give a fuck.
But you'll continue to post on social media and make it worse and then cry about how everything's really bad. You are a massive figure. If you are under controversy, like, listen to me, if you're out there and you want to be a content creator, if you genuinely believe that you are in the right, you gotta, like, move on at a certain point and stop talking about it, because that's the only way that people forget. Might be autistic. That's not an excuse. That is not an excuse. You can be autistic and still be aware of these things. It's not about being autistic. It's so cringe.
Yeah, simply bend the knee and lie about how you feel, and everyone will stop bullying you.
The victim, always the victim. I'm the victim.
That's a great idea, dude. Yeah, no, eat shit.
This guy is so hopeless, man.
That is villain shit.
Now, I will say this because I'm sure this will appear in the comments. Yes, I'm aware that PirateSoftware is a massive furry, and I'm also aware that he was legally married to someone, and during that marriage, he got in contact with one of the Kickstarter backers of Earthbound, the game he's working on, and started a very inappropriate 18+ relationship with.
Oh, that's like whatever. Even if he didn't do that, he would still be a prick. It might be a little bit weird. You can have your opinion about it, but like, legally married? Yeah, you can be like married, you know, like, I don't know, on VR chat or some shit. Yeah, average fur. No, there's nice people that are furries. Okay, Jesus.
While being married, yes, he committed adultery. The reason why I didn't mention this in the video is because it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. If he had just apologized during the WoW Classic incident, this coming out wouldn't have done anything to him, because guess what? Most of these messages involved 18+ roleplay, but more specifically, furry roleplay. Yes, they would literally say to themselves, pets you, nuzzles you, play.
Oh my god, I'm gonna blow up.
Is with your tail, and then get, you know, more 18+ into it. Yes, most people couldn't even read one page of chat logs because of how cringy it is. So I'm so convinced it wouldn't have done anything to his reputation. It's meaningless to talk about. But if you're interested, you can check out this video by Fearful Tears titled PirateSoftware, the most delusional Twitch streamer. Look, PirateSoftware is a lesson, not just in content creation, but in quite literally anything. Normal people make mistakes, and geniuses make mistakes too. We're all human. Admitting that you make a mistake isn't you admitting that you have a weakness. No, on the contrary, never admitting that you're wrong is a weakness in itself, because it shows how insecure you are, how fragile of an ego you have, and it'll only make people want to avoid you. I mean, what's the point? PirateSoftware is the stupid person's definition of a genius, and he managed to ride that wave for a little while, but now the party's over, and he only has himself to blame. He'll still be a content creator, he'll still have a sizable audience, but he'll never be able to touch the sky like he did at the end of 2023. And they're never coming back unless he finally humbles his dumb ass. Anyway, thank you so much for watching the entire video up until the end. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next video fairly soon. Yeah, I love you so much. Mwah.
was great. That did not feel like an hour, bro. Genuinely, it did not. Chat, it doesn't matter if he's a furry or not. I know there's furries in my community or whatever. Like, I'm sure there's furries out there who exist. Felt like 3 hours, but you sat through all of it! You little frick! Nah! Fillion, oh my god, stop bullying her, bro. Stop it. Stop it right now. Go check him out. Mujin's super cool. He lets us watch his videos. He's a super nice guy, and he lives in France, and he's not cringe. Okay?